Hello, guys. My name is Milan Sharma, and I have some news today about to explain what Kaepernick is doing and why he is brave in what he is doing. So, this is an article from the Huffington Post, written by H.A. Goodman, a very good writer and columnist. Please look at his YouTube channel; it's very informational. The title is 70% of NFL players are black men. Colin Kaepernick should be praised, not condemned. So here it is. According to Vice, African American males are 6% of the population, but comprise 70% of the league. And the NFL earns around $12 billion. I'm not going to go into that. Here we go. According to the Washington Post, black Americans are 2.5 times as likely as white Americans to be shot and killed by police officers. In addition, the Washington Post writes, unarmed black men are 7 times more likely than whites to die by police gunfire. 7 times. Other statistics are just as startling. The Guardian states, despite making up only 2% of the total U.S. population, African American males between the ages of 15 and 34 comprised more than 15% of all deaths logged this year by an ongoing investigation into the use of deadly force by police. Although the NFL is obvious to this fact, the demographic link to 15% of all deaths logged also make up the majority of college and professional football players. And going back to what it says about deadly force by police, people like Martin Luther King have been saying that this has been going on, but they can never prove it because there has been no footage of it at all until recently, because people have been recording on their phones, and back then they didn't have phones. So they always took the police's stance no matter what for the benefit of the doubt. That's why this is such a big issue. So this story is not surprising to most people, but if you ever needed a reason to support Black Lives Matter campaign, look no further to these statistics. In 2015 alone, 102 of the 464 unarmed individuals killed by police were black. That means 32% of those killed by police were black, and 15% of whites, and 25.4% of Hispanics. And Hispanics usually don't get looked at too much by media outlets, but they're another minority that gets targeted by police as well. In 2015, 102 of the 464 unarmed individuals killed by police were black. NFL Commissioner Roger Goodell made $31.7 million in the league, where 70% of players were black. Yet the NFL remains silent on the topics that's issued, as Colin Kaepernick is issuing here. And here's a quote from him. And here, and where he explains, you have Hillary, who has called black teens or black kids super predators. That was in the 1990s when she was a first lady. You have Donald Trump, who's openly racist. We have a presidential candidate who has deleted emails and done things illegally and is a presidential candidate. That doesn't make sense to me, because if that was any other person, you'd be in prison, which is also true, because someone named Manning, he did similar things, but of a way less degree, and he's in prison as well. So what is this country really standing for? So he makes really good points about Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump. Points that I've made in the past with my videos, and why you should support a third-party candidate like Jill Stein, because she was against these mass incarceration rates, and she realizes she wants to end the drug war disproportionately affecting black people. And 4 times, all right, so whites and blacks both use marijuana or hold it or have possession of it at basically the same exact rate, but studies show that 4 times of as many of blacks and Latinos are in jail as whites, and they take it at the same exact rate. So they're targeting these minorities. It is a country that has elected a black president twice, yeah, but a lot of things haven't changed. There are a lot of issues that still haven't been addressed over his 8-year term. Will it be a success? That's a tough question because there's a lot of things that need to change, a lot of different issues that need to be addressed. And this is written a little bit earlier because recently Kaepernick actually said that he'd donate his first $1 million he made to a charities helping African American communities. And he's going to say, yes, he is correct. Kaepernick is correct with stating this, like I just said earlier. Also, it's unfortunate that most critics ignore Colin Kaepernick when he says, I have great respect for the men and women who have fought for this country. It's true. Veterans have actually been supportive of him on Twitter. In addition, Kaepernick is absolutely right in stating that America doesn't treat its returning veterans in a just manner. In 2013, Paul Ryan defended cuts to military retiree benefits, and 41 Republican senators blocked a landmark veterans bill in 2014. So they have no problem increasing spending because that's what benefits the military contractors, but they don't want to help them when they retire. As for the learning, the consequences of sending Americans to fight endless wars in the Middle East, Hillary Clinton in 2015 called for more U.S. ground troops to be sent back to war. And Clinton is also advised by George W. Bush's neoconservatives from Iraq to Libya. The Democratic nominee is known for a hawkish foreign policy, such as supporting the Iraq War, supporting the Libya initiative, and being advised by a war criminal, Henry Kissinger. These are just some of the issues. And she wants to put a no-fly zone in Syria, which would require 2,000 to 3,000 in-ground troops of Americans, and that would cause tension with Russia as well, which is a horrible idea. Veterans or families who have lost loved ones in Iraq or Afghanistan have every right to be upset with Kaepernick, if indeed many find his actions offensive. They sacrificed infinitely more than most Americans. However, the majority of this country has little comprehension regarding the cost of war. Most Americans are more worried about defeating ISIS than ensuring we don't send Americans back into perpetual war. Yeah, I hear a lot of people saying that we should just go in and take them out and it'll be over, but we're still in Iraq and we're still in Afghanistan today. There's 7,000 to 8,000 troops in Afghanistan and 4,500 in Iraq. So we're still there. In addition, most Americans are unfortunately oblivious to the human cost of war. Since the start of the Iraq and Afghanistan war, 6,888 Americans have died and almost 50,000 Americans have been wounded in combat. Despite the immense sacrifice of soldiers and their families, the majority of Americans favor sending more U.S. ground troops to fight ISIS. In addition, over 1 million veterans have been injured in both Iraq and Afghanistan, and these wars have resulted in major unintended consequences, ISIS and extreme terrorism around the world. And there's actually a chart that showed terrorism increasing each year from like 2003 till now. And the Taliban actually have control of more territory than before we actually went into Afghanistan. The fact that 102 out of 464 unarmed individuals killed by police were black in 2015 hasn't elicited outrage from an average NFL fan. So that is the end of that. So basically, this article written by H.A. Goodman just shows that there's still racism in this country, and just points, obviously goes into the politics of Hillary Clinton and about her willingness to do wars. So basically, this is saying that what Colin Kaepernick is doing is actually standing up for something that many Americans don't really pay attention to when they look at football. They look at it as a game, and all these statistics. It's just very devastating. So you can look at this article in this description section below. Comment on anything. Like this video if you liked it, and subscribe if you want to see more videos like these. Thanks for listening.